Hey everybody, Empress Vibrant here. What's up, Libra gang? Um, this reading is for Libra. Um, take the messages as they resonate. It will not resonate with everybody. Um, I hope everybody enjoyed their new moon, the rituals, the intention setting, the meditations, the spiritual baths, yeah, goal setting and intention setting and just getting into the right space. So um we're coming to the tail end of the fullness of that energy, I thought I'd do a reading, um and do them as individuals. So I just felt like the vibe that it was about that right about now. So okay, without further ado, Libra. So looking at the overall energy, we have number 35, which is sensitivity, and the messages. The frequency of sensitivity helps us to open to the world of subtlety and detail while anchoring in a structural foundation, thus supporting us to become more fully multi-dimensional. I'll say it one more time. The frequency of sensitivity helps us to be open to the world of subtlety and detail while anchoring in a structural foundation, thus supporting us to become more fully multi-dimensional. So, being sensitive to the subtle changes in mood, energy, um, we can be able to pick up on things. So, the sensitivity to the subtle changes, being able to look into the detail of things, so that at times we don't need to be riding with our emotions and going so deep into things that make us feel low because we're looking at the detail, um, and not really seeing what the actual essence really is. Um, because sometimes some things can be so subtle in its nature, changing the tone, um, you know, things like that. So the sensitivity also etherically and spiritually, where you can feel that the energy in the room has shifted, um, when there is an air of this, displeasure or distaste, um, that sensitivity to different kind of energies. Um, I'm also feeling that this is a lot to do with sensitivity around certain circumstances, finances, how you're being perceived. Subtle changes in people's behavior. I think Libra at this time, you're very observant of even how you are showing up. So let's see what this sensitivity is all about. It allows us to be a structural foundation, but then supporting us to fully in a multi-dimensional world. So we're able to pick up on the subtleties, but also see the details, which is the realness of really what's going on. There's a lot of observing going on, very sensitive to change, very sensitive to people. I think even your sense of smell might be very sensitive at this time. I think people need to tread a little bit lightly around you at the moment, Libra. Make sure that they're paying attention to your mood, the subtle changes in it. Right, so we have here, don't let your past hold you back, South Node. So this is what we are moving away from, or what we are using to propel us to learn, to overcome. So with the sensitivities of where we're at, what we're feeling, what we're witnessing, what we're observing, what we're partaking in, what we are participating in, there's a real high level of sensitivity, and especially around pain, and especially around feeling misunderstood, those kind of elements. So at this particular time, you want to be heard. So maybe around your affirmations is, I am heard, my word is valuable, my words are valuable, I have worthwhile thoughts and ambitions, those types of things, so you can build and cultivate that energy of, although there is a sensibility around you, there's a sensitivity around you at this moment, that you can affirm that no matter what's happened in the past, it's not going to hold you back. So not being listened to, not being valued, being overlooked, beating yourself up for things that have happened in the past. And this is one of the things that we can do to actually really, really stop us in our tracks. And we can actually halt our happiness and our progression if we keep going over what we did wrong, what somebody else did wrong, how things have panned out for us. Sometimes feeling a little bit sorry for ourselves in that sense as well. But the sensitivity around that spiritual element where you recognize that you are a divine being. However, sometimes you use the details of some of the things that happened in the past to almost disassociate yourself, almost take the worth away, like you strip yourself of your worthiness because maybe you didn't complete a task, or maybe you didn't show up in the way that you wanted to show up, or you totally lost your shit and started cussing and carrying on bad, and then now you feel awful because you were taken out of yourself. And why was I so sensitive? It wasn't that deep. All of those things can play a part in our being sensitive, but also when we look at the detail of the fact that we are here to learn and that we are here to cultivate an energy of peace and transformation, those details help us to move away from stagnant energies of the past. So don't allow your past to hold you back, the things that were less than favorable, how you're viewed, what your upbringing was, how you carried yourself in the past. All of those things can be a huge anchor. And what we want is for those lessons to set us free. So we can look at how far we've come and how much we've stretched and evolved from those times of old. We also have here a time for healing, balsamic moon. So definitely a time for healing. Definitely a time for allowing yourself to really go through that shadow work. Allow your body to rest in this time, especially if we're dealing with pains, anxieties, worries, hyposensitivity. Allow yourself to observe, allow yourself to feel, and journal at this time. Set your intentions. I am healing, I am healed, I am love, I am fruitful, I am kind and gentle with myself, I am forever growing and elevating. as there's an energy of healing here that feels extremely heavy. Some of it feels like pain, and some of it feels like beating yourself up. And there's also a group that I'm feeling where it's to do with a lot of anxiety and worry, picking up the subtle changes in people's behavior and equating it to you, when not necessarily that's the case. There's a lot of illusion based energy here. Why did they do that? Didn't like the tone of that. Was that directed at me? You know, that kind of energy. To be very mindful, Libra, um, not to zero in on things too much, but rather to allow yourself to just observe. Observe the fact that you might be sensitive at this time, and observe the fact that within this time for a group of you, your spiritual essence and your spiritual antenna is heightened right now. You're hearing, feeling, seeing, and experiencing some real profound changes. Um, and etherically, you feel the difference. There is a subtle change in the energy, but the detail in what you can hear, see, perceive, feel is profound. So definitely keep up the healing work, as it will support you opening up further and allowing yourself to be guided, and allow yourself to be moved, allow yourself to feel, um, and allow yourself to rest in this time as well, and not allowing the stuff of old to hold you back. Let's find out, get a confirmation, some clarity of why we have sensitivity here, the energy of not letting your past hold you back, and that it's a time for healing. Clarification on this energy, please. See that? Look. Justice. So this is the Libra cards come out. So when we're talking about justice and the need for balance, this is where we're at. We're in a need to be balanced within our emotions, within our physical world, balance the things that happened in the past to learning lessons and not tools or a stick to beat yourself with. Balance with the time to heal physically and relax, and to do some shadow work with the journaling, observing oneself, with the meditations. But also, I think it's that energy again, when we go back to that justice energy, what are we putting our energy towards? If we're putting our energy a lot on the negative stuff, then the likelihood that it's going to spin back around, and a lot of negativity is what's going to catch us, or it's going to come around again. Or if you are force riping yourself to feel better for others, or not for the right reasons, or shrugging off the work that you need to do, it will come back. So there is an element of balance that's necessary. Those who feel like there is an injustice and an imbalance, as long as you're playing your role and being transparent and open with where you have been and where you are now, then there is no need to worry about this fear of karma. As long as you can recognize where you have been and where you are going and what lessons you learned along the way, then there's no need to worry. But if it's a constant running away and denial, then the likelihood is that it will come up and it will rear its ugly head again. And then the past will be able to hold you back because of this energy of fear around not being able to move past a certain level. And then that messes with your worth. Are you, are you worthy of having nice things, or feeling fine, or having what you're supposed to have? It kind of messes with the energy. So there's a lot of I am worthy, I am balanced, I am open, I am observant, I am strong, I am powerful. All of the lessons in my life is for my spiritual growth. I heal, I am healing while I heal others, while I share. All of those things, all of those intentions can help along this journey here. Let's have a look at what is being activated as well. Activated for Libra. Moon energy for the rest of this month, really. Activated. Yeah. Okay. So we've got willingness. You are able to compromise if the end result is love. So there's a willingness to compromise. There's a willingness to relinquish all the power, relinquish all of the control, in order to allow for balance to happen. Instead of, holding on quite tightly to a thought, a perception, there's now a willingness for you, Libra, to really look at how best to compromise in a situation so that everybody wins, so that we're not all cutting off our noses to spite our face, that we're not holding on to malice just because. So there is a willingness to compromise here. So I'm glad that that's the case, because it shows that with all the work that's being done with the past, and with the healing as well that's taking place, the willingness to compromise is what's going to help bring about this balance and bring about the justice in the situation for everyone involved. We also have creativity. You love to devise new ideas, innovations, and forms of illuminations. So creative. So it's a time where it's about being creative. It's about having a look at the type of ideas that are coming to you, innovations, all of the illuminations that you get from when we are doing your healing work, when great ideas come to fruition in your mind and you're like, oh, that'd be a great idea, whether that's for a story, whether that's for services and products, new lines. And when we're talking about ideas around how to approach a situation, but being creative in the way that we do it, not always approaching a situation for such a staunch or serious viewpoint. That always help us get to that next stage where we're like, all right, cool, makes sense. If I carry on dry and dark, then that's going to make the other person have their back up. So let me be open. Let me be willing to be open and to listen to other people's side of the story, or let me be open to listening, to being taught something, and all of that. And there's a creativity in that, in the fact that you have to create new ways of showing up for yourself and others. And then we have acceptance. You are ready to release, see again, that control. Excuse me. You are ready to release the control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. So instead of trying to control the narrative, staring things the way you want to stare them, trying to have the control over how people or the situation, allowing the Most High, allowing nature to take its course, allowing the natural rhythm of things to let it play itself out. And in the end, what's meant to be is going to be regardless. So that acceptance that sometimes it's not even about beating your head against a brick wall, it's mainly about just being open to what comes, these lessons, being open to see what's going to come about. Bless you, Libra. There's a lot of sensitive energy here. There's a lot of feelings and emotions, but also a lot of spiritual sensitivity and strength as well. Some of those things that are holding back is, you know, the need to control the narrative or beating yourself up. It's just not what's necessary. All right, so in closing, my lovely Libras, let's get some words of affirmation and words of encouragement for Libra, please. Affirmation, words of encouragement for Libra. So the first one we have is, the universe provides me with what I need right now. Excuse me. The universe provides me with what I need right now. Okay. So there is no deficit. What I have right now is what I need. People come in and out of my life for a reason. Okay, and that goes for that past energy. No letting the past hold you back. You know, trying to drag people along, trying to control the narrative. People will come in and out of your life for a reason. And sometimes it's a painful transition when you miss the people who used to be around, or vice versa. But they have come in to teach you something about yourself. And you've also played a role in their learning and their development also. Life is a journey, travel at your own pace. That's it, there's no rush. Healing is not a rush situation. Healing is something that takes time. And you don't need to be in any rush to heal. There's no race, there's not a competition. It's something that you actually work at. So take your time. And I align myself with my true calling. Amen. So align yourself with your true calling, with that energy of sensitivity, where you feel those subtle changes in the frequency and the energy, and you can feel your ancestors moving through you, where you get that call to do something, move, take action. Listen to that. We are always aligning for our truest calling, which is to become heaven in the now, to become better versions of ourselves, to become peaceful and joyful and have a existence or have a life that is filled with joy, because we're actually supposed to be here to enjoy it. You know, we are here to enjoy life, learn the lessons, yes, but enjoy the pleasures. You know, so yeah, my lovely Libras, blessings, and I will see each other again soon. Bye bye.